Hello and welcome to the birthday edition of Kennedy Saves the World. Perhaps you're enjoying this content, wondering, my dearest Kennedalia, what can I send you for your birthday? Which is such a nice thing for you to ask. And you were so giving and thoughtful. Typically I would say, send me a pair of Christian Louboutin heels, size 38.5. And I'm going to say that now. So if that's what you want to do, I'm good with it, just for the both of us. So thank you very much in advance for that. You can send them to Fox News, 1211 Avenue of the Americas, New York, 10036. Thank you. So birthdays are funny. There is such a generational split in how we celebrate our birthdays. And for the last, 8 years, I haven't really cared. I haven't cared. I don't want to necessarily do anything. I don't want to party. I don't want a celebration. That all changed last year when I turned 50. Because I was like, you know what? Screw it. I have not had a birthday party or a celebration for myself in so long. We're all going to Greece. So friends, family, daughters packed up, flew to Greece, rented a villa. It was the trip of a lifetime, and it was amazing. So this year, in order to celebrate, having a very small dinner at a Greek restaurant. And that's pretty much the size of it. And it's just family because the only thing I want to do on my birthday is sit on the couch, watch The Crown, and eat a box of C's dark chocolate. That's it. I do it every year and I love it. Last year I was eating Greek chocolate and drinking Greek coffee and I was absolutely fine with that. Actually, no. Last year I was back from Greece. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. The Queen died on my birthday last year, which kind of sucked. I was still doing my Fox Business show. We were wall-to-wall coverage with the Queen's death as though she were going to wake up from the eternal slumber, and she did not. Breaking news, the Queen still dead. 1 year later, this is our update. So that sort of eclipsed the day, and now my 50th birthday will forever be the day that the Queen died. And obviously, this has been a strange year for me. I tore my hip 2 days after my birthday, so I had hip surgery. So I've been recovering from that physically, going through physical therapy, listening to my body. Obviously, it's very different being an athlete in your 50s than it is in your 20s, 30s, or 40s. And you have to be very mindful with all of your workouts. They have to be incredibly intentional, and you have to check in with your body so much more. And I have been more than I ever have. And now my swim is faster than it was pre-injury. My run and bike are both getting back there. I'm going to compete in my first triathlon since the surgery at the end of this month. So I'm doing so. It's going to be the first race I've ever done where I don't really care about the time. And Janice Dean told me that she loves being in her 50s because she calls it the fuck it 50s. Sorry about the coarse language, but you know what? And there is something to that. And I'm really excited to do a race where it's not just balls to the wall, grinding, got to get the best time, got to PR, got to nail this one with nothing to prove, but doing it just for the sheer joy of competing in a race. That's great. Has almost nothing to do with my birthday, but the generational shift I was talking about, it's so funny because seeing my niece and some of my younger coworkers, I don't have a problem with it, but they don't have a birthday. They have a birthday weekend. And so everyone's birthday is now the same thing as a bachelorette party in Vegas. There have to be favors. There has to be an itinerary. There has to be sobbing and proclamations. And the problem is that if one of your friends bakes you a cake or gives you something nice or arranges a dinner or a series of dinners or massages or a spa day or a trip to Tahiti, you are expected to do that in kind. And if you don't go far enough proving your friendly love, then you are a bad friend and you can be excommunicated from the circle of friendship if you, in fact, don't reciprocate on the birthday hysteria. And I think there's something about being a Gen Xer, and I talk to other Gen Xers at work, we don't expect that people are going to give us praise for the work we do, and we really don't care about things like birthdays. Birthdays are great and important for kids. A very good friend of mine taught me a valuable lesson because every year, she has 2 sons, every year for her son's birthdays, she would get like a bouncy house and a magician and a balloon artist and a face painter. And she would go so far over the top. And she even said to me, like, I know people criticize me for this. I know they say I'm spoiling my kids and I'm doing too much, but at some point, they won't want birthday parties. And she was absolutely right. At some point, that, the joy and the intensity of childhood birthdays, it sort of dissipates. And, now my daughters want to go to Nobu, which is great and certainly sounds expensive. It's a lot less expensive than having 30 kids over for a big magician and balloon-filled birthday party. But you only get so many of them. So, yes, I think it's appropriate to have these massive celebrations for children. That's fine. It's awesome. But then when they get into adolescence and then college and then in their 20s and they think that the entire world should stop spinning because it's the day they emerged from their mom's vagina, I think that's a bit much. But what I do every year on my birthday, other than sitting on the couch eating a box of See's dark chocolate watching The Crown, every year I send my mom flowers. Will my girls do that for me sometime in the future on their birthdays? Only time will tell. But if they do that, I certainly will celebrate with even more intensity and gusto than I did before. So go ahead and tell them that next year for their birthdays, that's right, I'll eat some chocolate for you, and I'll parade around in my new lubes. Oh, thank you again. This has been Kennedy Saves the World, 1 year older, but 1 year even more rad. I'm Kennedy. Listen ad-free with a Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app.
Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.